Hi everyone, welcome to another topic on our channel, Lawyer Tops Creations. First of all, I give thanks to all our new subscribers and the old subscribers because it is the channel, of course, is subscriber based, so that's what makes us grow. So thank you so much. Our videos are out every Friday at 7 p.m. So if you haven't subscribed, maybe you just check in once in a while. I urge you to subscribe so that you'll be notified as soon as something new comes out on the channel. So today, I want to show you how I keep a multi-row bracelet, that is a multi-row stretchy bracelet, how I keep it together instead of having to wear them one at a time. I'll show you how I keep them together, and therefore you can wear them once. And what we need to do this are some simple little items that perhaps we've come across. So let me show you how I go about this. Now, there are a few items that we need to do this. Of course, we need our beads because we need our bead bracelet to do this, and we also need what we call spacers. Now, there are different types and there are different names for them. So in some websites, on some websites, they are called spacers. On some websites, they are called links, or they might be called multi-strand connectors. And I have a few here to show you what they could look like. You have fanciful ones, like this one here. This is This is an 8-row connector. You can see it's quite fanciful, and it's got 8 holes on the side. This is another one. This one has stones in the front of it, and it's a 4-row connector. That also is another type you could use. This is quite a long one. It's a fanciful one as well, and it has 11 holes which you can use. With this, you can decide which hole to use depending on the design of your necklace or whatever you are making. So the holes are along the side. They're in the ridges and also on the side of the connector. This is another type. This is a long one. This one I like to use because you can you've got choice. It comes just like this, and you can cut it to any length you want. So that's why I like this. You can cut it and use it. You can use 2 holes if you want. You can use 6. You can use as many as you like. So I like this one, so you can cut it. And then you also have this type. This is 5 holes. There's one at the bottom. It's very flat, and you've got 3. These are 3 holes. So 3-hole spacer. That also is quite flat. This is another 5-row spacer, but it's smaller than the other one. This is the other one. You can see they are smaller, but they are 5 holes. So those are some of the multi-strand connectors that you can get in the market, depending on what you are beading or what you are designing. Now, I'm going to make a 3-row multi-strand bracelet, stretchy bracelet, using white or off-white 8mm pearls. You can see the pearls here. So those are the pearls. So these are the pearls. They are off-white mother of pearl beads, and they're 8 mm. So that is what I want to use for the bracelet. But before I start beading, because I'm going to use these connectors, I'm going to use the short one. That's the three hole one. That is what I'm going to use. I need to sort of design my bracelet first, and then decide how long I want it to be and what I want to put in it. Maybe where I want to put the connectors. Those are the things I need to think about when designing the bracelet. So I'll probably do that with the first row. This is the first row of the bracelet, and I'm going to make it into about 7.5 inches. So I want to decide where I'm going to put these connectors. Now there are two things or a few things you need to think about when you are designing the bracelets, and that is what length of connector you're going to use, what type of connector are you going to use, and so on. Now the length or the number of holes depends, of course, on the strands you want to put in the bracelet. It also depends on the size between the beads that you want to put in your bracelet. It also depends on maybe you want a fanciful one or you want a plain one. I would just want to use a plain one because I want my beads to show. And because my beads are 8 mm, they're not too big, I think the 3-hole connector will be suitable. Because when you're using a connector, you don't want the strands to sit too much on top of one another, and you don't want too much space between the rows. So I'm going to use this one, and I will decide where I want to put them because I want them to be evenly spaced. So looking at what I have here, I've got about 23 beads. So I'm probably going to make it as even as possible. So I'll probably do 7, put a connector, and then continue beading. So let's try that and see what will happen. You can use one connector if you like. It all depends on what you want. I want to use 2 because I want the bracelet to be sort of balanced, but you could put just 1. It all depends on you and how you prefer to design your things. So I want to bead 7. So I have got 7, and then I'll put 1 connector. So you put it through the first hole because this is the first row. And then I'll continue beading. And then I'll put the second connector, and then bead 7. So as you can see, the beads on the beads that are beside the connector, I'm not sure if you can see, yep, the connector here, you can see that there's enough space between where the beads are and the second hole for the next row. So that is what we want. We don't want them to sit too much on top of one another, and we don't want the space to be too much. So that's the first one, and we have to finish this off before we bead the second one. Before we bead the second row, try to add a little hypo. And then tie the last knot, which is a double knot. But that's the first row, and now we'll bead 2 more rows. Just as we started the first row, we bead 7 and pass through the hole, the second hole, because this is the second row. Of course, you can put charms, you can add whatever you want to add in your bracelet, but you must note that whatever you add in each row, they must be the same size. It must come out the same size, so that the completed bracelet will be neat and sits properly. So that's the second row, and we will tie it as well. Tie it the same way. And then we do the last row. So this time we put it through the last hole, the third hole in the connector. So this is the third and last row, and we need to tie this as well. So we've got the 3 rows. Now we just need to loosen it up and show you what it looks like. So this is the bracelet using the multi-row connectors. I use just 2, so you can use as many as you like. I could have put another one at the back. It all depends on what you are designing and how you want it to sit on you. So let's have a look. This is the bracelets which I'm able to wear just once without having to wear them one after the other. So my connectors are on the side here. So that is how I connect my rows in the bracelet. So that is what I have for you this week. So that is what I have for this week. How to use your multi-row connectors in stretch bracelets to keep the rows together and stop them falling about, and also to stop you having to wear them one after the other. So that's how it keeps it neat and tidy. So thank you once again for watching excuse me, our video this week. We'll be back next week with another interesting topic. Thank you and bye.